They're going to have to go to the clock here. St. John's in their celebration. When the ball gets knocked away and the ball goes into the front court, St. John's steps out of bounds while there's still time on the clock with the ball. I think there's still time on the clock. There definitely is. There's 1.4 left. He stepped out of bounds with 1.4 left. They're going to have to put 1.4 and give him the ball in midcourt. Forget the foul. It was a terrible play Rice ran there. There's no way you're getting a foul there. But that was a terrible play. But there's 1.4 left, Bob. When he steps out of bounds with the celebration, there's 1.4 on the clock.
And Tim Higgins is looking right at him. And I have to agree with Fran Fraschilla, who just said...
I don't know what he said.
What he just said was that the officials, during the last, what was it, half a minute, lost their composure. I mean, they completely lost their composure.
Well, they were... How is the game over, though?
That's what I'm talking about. Well... If you watch the replay again, you'll see...
The refs, they have to come back. The game's not over.
They walked down the tunnel.
But they have to come back and look. That's a replayable situation.
Well, they got to get him back to the monitors then.
But he stepped out of bounds. It said 1.4 on the clock.
There is Rutgers should have the ball right now at midcourt.
With 1.4 left because he stepped out of bounds.
Absolutely.
They got to bring those guys back out.
I think Brownlee was what? You see Steve Lavin?
See, I don't like the play they ran with 5 seconds left because that throw into the front court to their big man, they're never going to call a foul on that play.
And he was fouled.
He has 5, but they're never going to call that.
Understood, but he was certainly fouled.
But the thing is this, you have 5 seconds. Give the ball in the front court, in the back court to your best player, Mitchell, and let him dribble and shoot the ball. It's 5 seconds. It's not 1 second where you got to throw a home run pass. No, there's 5 seconds on the clock.
It's a low percentage play, the kind you make when you have a half a second or a second.
And I don't know all their personnel records, but the thing is this. Coburn's like their 4th highest scorer. I don't like Mitchell giving up the ball there to Coburn and have Coburn drive it into the teeth of the St. John's defense when you're down 1 late in the game. Let Mitchell shoot the ball. I mean, he's your star. Let him shoot the ball.
Absolutely.
Run a play, run a screen for Mitchell. Mitchell gets the ball, gives it to Coburn. Coburn drives it into Kennedy's chest, and he's not going to get a call doing that either. So I thought Rutgers ran 3. They played wonderfully down the stretch, but they made 3 bad plays on their 3 possessions. But what is going on here? Get the guys on. The game can't be over.
Mike, I'm telling you, they're not.
How is he coming back? He stepped out of bounds with 1.4 on the clock.
What you have is one of the most bizarre endings you'll ever see in a Big East tournament game.
Hey, Ray, get Rice up, and I also want to talk to somebody from the Big East because the game can't be over. That's a reviewable thing. How can the game be over? He stepped out of bounds.
He clearly stepped out of bounds, and
the clock showed 1.4 when he was stepping out of bounds celebrating.
I've never seen anything like it.
That's so visible. You got to correct that. That's ridiculous.
Again, when you watch the replay, Tim Higgins is looking right at him. Obviously, just
watch here. They're going to show it right here. Coburn drives the ball into Kennedy and loses the ball. All right, I don't think that was a foul. Okay, right there. Now, they take the ball down. St. John's shoots the foul shot. You go up. All right, I'm going to say right there, you know what? Let him play. So the ball's off Rutgers.
He was fouled.
All right, let him play, though. There, you're not getting that call. You're not getting that call. But here's the thing. Watch now.
It's Brownlee.
He steps out of bounds. There's 1.6 left. You got to put that back on the clock.
Look at Lavin at midcourt, too. I think Brownlee was taking Lavin's cue. Lavin's walking up doing the handshake, and I think he kind of threw Brownlee off, and Brownlee's thinking, oh, the game's over, tosses the ball up.
Forget the fouls. We can argue fouls all night. You have to let them play to 1.6. Somebody's got to go get them and bring them out here. You got to let him play to 1.6. He stepped out of bounds with 1.6 left.
Mike, those officials are in the shower.
Get Timmy Higgins out of here. I mean, you can't lose the game.
Jim Burr's one of
Big
the
East officials there.
Jim Burry's considered the best.
No, Jim's getting old. I like Jim, but Jim's getting old. But, I mean, listen, you got Higgins and Burr, who are 2 of the renowned officials in America.
Yep.
But the point is, this is a correctable offense. You have to be able. They go to the dawn replay now for everything. You got to correct the end of the game here.
It's like the basketball version of the pine tar play.
Well, it's not fair. You can't let. This is correctable. See, here, talking about the play, I wouldn't talk about the play. You're not getting that call.
Yeah, they didn't blow any whistles.
You're not getting that call. All right, I'll give you that. But here's the thing. He steps out of bounds.
Right in front of Lavin. 1.6. Then he throws the ball in the air.
It throws, but he's already out of bounds.
I know the play's dead there. with 1.6. It's unbelievable.
Well, I don't think they can let it stand, though. They have to bring him back out.
What's the recourse? Right now, bring him out?
Bring him out. You cannot end the game that way. It's not fair.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm telling you, they're in that officials' locker room, and they may be in
the officials have to know the game ended before they can say the game's over. They got to watch the floor. The guy's off out of bounds.
I don't know who that is. Just ran across the screen, but I'm telling you, Higgins is right near Brownlee. There's Higgins right there.
You know, the officials can't leave the floor before the game's over. They left the floor before the game was over. They have to know there's 0-0 on the clock before they can leave the floor. There's not 0-0 on the clock.
Didn't stop them today. Didn't stop them.
That's not fair. You know, listen, that's my alma mater, but it's not fair. I mean, come on, that's just not fair. Where are the officials at that point? They are already up the runway?
Yes.
But the game wasn't over.
I know. They didn't know it. We know it. We see the clock. I don't know what they were looking at.